The headline or topic of this video is that first blow from BUET, my alma mater. Alma mater is my last school, primary school. That means my last educational institute. And before that, I was a student of Notre Dame College. Anyway, so how I got the blow. I got it on the very first day. I sat on their bench in a classroom to sit for the admission test. That was the date 22nd January, the year 2000, also known as 2K. I am from intermediate batch 99. Although my intermediate result was kinda moderate, 861 marks in those days, uh, who are almost like my age, 45 or even higher, they will know what 861 marks mean. That was moderate, not bad, but not very good either. Because to achieve a place in the merit list in Dhaka board, at least 905 or 6 marks are required. Although I made some calculation mistakes, a lot of 50 or 60 of them, in a way, if I did not make those calculation mistakes, I could have had a place in the merit list. But then again, it might apply to all the people. The person who is to 20th in the merit list, he could also be saying that he had some calculations and other silly mistakes. And he who could also be claiming that if he did not do those mistakes, he would have stood first. So, claiming that I got 861 marks, and if I claim that if I did not make any mistakes, silly mistakes or calculation mistakes, I would have stood 20th or 15th. These things would actually absurd. But after the intermediate exam, I had a rigorous study because it was my dream to be an engineer, especially from BUET. So I studied hard. Every day I studied from the morning till the evening, and after evening I got out to have some refreshment, tea, etc. in a nearby hotel or restaurant. So this is how I passed the 6 months of admission preparation, and I was a student of Omeka Coaching Center. It was a new one. They came to our campus, Notre Dame College, and Mizan Bhai, the prime owner or director at that time, he persuaded us, especially I got them a chance actually to have a 500 taka discount. If I would take admission into like let's say Sunrise, they would have taken 3,000, but Omega would take only 2,500 taka. So to save this money, and not only to save this money entirely, also I thought about these people are so much polite, making such a polite request and being humble. Why not give them a chance? So out of humanity, this was 20% and 80% was the purpose of saving money. I took admission into what? Omega Coaching Center. The problem was that I did not find huge competition or enough competition in Omega. I knew that I was the average student. I would get a chance at BUET to take admission, but still I was the average student, and someone like me who was the average student, I always stood 6th, 7th, 10th, 15th, sometimes in Omega weekly tests. So this was not good because when you stand 5th, 6th, 10th or 13th, 15th, every now and then, out of 500 students, you can become easily confident and think that this is enough. Actually, this was not enough. Someone who is planning to take admission, they should aim for the best. Why settle for the somehow manage to get admitted? That shouldn't be someone's goal. But anyway, I should have taken admission into Sunrise Coaching Center. If I did that, I would have got a lot of competition and I would have better prepared myself for the test. Now, listen. So, in the combined merit list of Omega, I stood 13th, 1 3. I could have done better, but I was weak in chemistry because chemistry was all about memorizing things. So I was not that much good at memorizing, and also during intermediate level, I chemistry was the thing that I neglected the most because the same reason it was mostly it was about memorizing. Then again, people who are good at chemistry, they will be saying, no, chemistry is not about memorizing. Chemistry is about concepts, and it is very interesting subject. Could be, bro. Your point of view could be different. Everyone's point of view is different. Might be different. No matter. Okay. So, yeah, my combined merit list at Omega was 13, and people who stood like 12 or 15 in the combined merit list, no, in the merit list of BUET admission test, they stood somewhat like 45th, 50, etc. So I normally my merit list would have been the same like this, but that was a problem in the merit list when I sat on a bench in a classroom at BUET for the very first time to appear for admission test. There was a problem. The problem was maybe it was the mistake by the BUET supporting staff when they arranged the forms the forms that contain the name and other whereabouts of the examinee. My form was exchanged with someone else's, uh, and uh, and maybe at the last moment they made some changes in the sitting plan, uh, which I did not notice, and the other person with whom my seat got exchanged, he also did not notice. Okay. So, but it's not simply that it was only my mistake, because if it was only my mistake, then two people would be claiming the same seat. But no, it did not happen. The other student or examinee, he went to my seat and I went to his seat. So the duration was 3 hours when I just have done a few physics problems, very smooth and nice. Uh, that's when the invigilator came to me and he was about to sign, check whether I was the right candidate and sign my papers, my exam papers. That's when he said, why your photograph doesn't match with your face? I said, why would something like that happen? Let me see. I picked like this, and I saw it was someone else's photograph. And when I took a look at the information, the name, address, and other things, I knew. That's when I knew it was someone else's form. I said to the teacher, "Sir, it's not my form at all." But he did not say anything to me. He just went to consult with his colleague. There were two or three invigilators in the same room. They started to whisper to each other. That bothered me the most, because that's when I was afraid that they might expel me, because it sometimes happens in admission tests that proxy happens. One person goes to appear for someone else's, and if they suspect me of such thing, they would get me out of here. Maybe they will get me by mistake, but once they make a mistake, they will come up with other excuses and finally get rid of me. I will not get another chance to take admission into BUET, and which was my dream institution for furthering, for graduation, because I did not prepare for medical admission tests. Okay, so that's why I became very nervous. My health was in terrible condition. It means that I was, what should I say, very lightweight. That's why anything goes wrong and my head becomes super hot. But nowadays the thing is different, although I am bald kindly. And no matter what happens, I never got get very angry or very hot-headed, but at the times, maybe because of the health condition, I lost my temper. No, I did not start shouting, but my head just stopped working. So I messed up all the calculations, the rest of the physics problems, the math problems, and after that, that was a break. And after the break, I made the most of chemistry because I knew since I messed up in the maths and the physics. Now, whatever knowledge I have in chemistry, I have to properly uh, sit for properly write those info. Otherwise, the situation might be even worse. Uh, Getting even, I mean, I could even be kicked out of BUET, like I would never get a chance. When I was Notre Dame first year students at Science 1, I proudly told my, when I came to know about BUET, I proudly declared to my, what, whoever was sitting with me, the surrounding people, since I was very good at math, especially the geometry thing and others, I told them that there's at least one seat for, certainly one seat, not more than one seat. There's a one seat reserved for me at BUET. So that person, if it becomes so that I might not get even a single chance to take the admission at any department at all, what would be like? It would be a total devastating, experience for me. So that's why I come whatever I knew about chemistry, I calmly wrote on these papers. So although my dream was to study in CSE, computer science and engineering, but it did not happen. I had to choose triple electrical and electronic engineering. I did not like the subject because it's all about hardware and wire, and I was not very much interested to deal with tiny things, tiny instruments like resistor, how to set them, connecting them with narrow wires. These things always bothered me. What about code? Well, it's on the display, and I was always comfortable with the display. So this is so where I was, whereas I was supposed to have a merit position like 50, I stood finally 175, which was terrible. And in those days, CSE had only 60 seats, and Triple E had 120 seats. So that's it, guys. My dream university, BUET, that I had my first blow from it. The very first day I sat in their classroom. Okay, thank you for your time.